Get ready.
Yeah.
We're going to dive deep into some exciting stuff now. So we talked about the digital nutrition, and we talked about when our gut can get a bit messed up and all of the different knock-on issues that we have. And so now we're going to dive into, if I can share my screen, the bioenergetic revitalization. Do you guys know what that is? Do you have any idea what that is? So we'll go there. We will take you there as soon as I can get this up and running. Okay, so the bioenergetic revitalization, which is now called the bioenergetic vitalization, or maybe, I'm not sure exactly. So we'll have to check on that one. So basically, what is the basis of the bioenergetic revitalization? What does it do? So pretty simply, it's about energy and vitality. Do you wake up in the morning and you feel like you've got enough energy to go outside and do a run before work? Do you get up early, roll out of bed like you're happy, you're energetic, you feel great, you're ready to go face the world? Do you have enough energy for that? This system, or this frequency, this set of frequencies, is actually about increasing strength, agility. One of the toughest things that we do as we age is maintaining muscle. So it's also about maintaining muscle growth and repair. When you talk about different kinds of vitalization or revitalization, you want to make sure that the body's responding in a number of different ways. It's also about recovery and stamina. If you're going to the gym and you're pumping weights, one of the things that you're doing when you lift those weights is you're actually tearing down the muscle. You actually have to rip it. You have to tear it down in order to build muscle. So you actually have to go in and damage the muscle in order to build muscle mass. So it's about revitalization. Revitalization in every sense of the word. You know, it's also, does your skin repair the way that you want it to? Do you notice the elasticity in your skin? Does it respond the way that you want? Do you feel like maybe you're aging a bit too fast? Are you getting the kind of nutrients from your food? That sort of thing, obviously. So it's basically about anti-aging and aging youthfully, if that makes sense. So aging in a very youthful way. Because we all want to look younger and we all want to feel younger. We want to feel revitalized. We want to feel like we get up and we can face the day. We have energy. We have vitality. We have the strength and the stamina to go and do what we want to do. And the body knows how to regenerate. So I want you to have a look at this image here. This is a chromosome. And inside of this chromosome is our DNA. It's wrapped around little balls called histones, and it's coiled around and it's spiraled into these chromosomes. And at the very ends of these chromosomes are called telomeres. What are they? They are a protective cap. If you think in terms of a shoestring, you know how you have the little plastic cap at the end of that shoestring, and that little plastic cap keeps the shoestring from unraveling. So you can think of a telomere the same way. So this telomere is going to protect, it's a non-coding area of DNA. And when the chromosome, or when the cell creates a new cell from the DNA, it has to unravel and it copies that DNA. But as it copies, Every time you make a copy, you lose a spot. You lose a little bit of that DNA code. So that's what telomeres are for. They're a non-coding DNA that's there as a protective measure to keep the DNA code healthy, fresh, and young. And if you lose those telomeres, so loss of telomere means loss of DNA code, and loss of DNA code means loss of data. And loss of data means errors when the DNA is creating new cells. So that's a big thing to get. Sit with that for just a minute. There's your DNA. It was coiled up inside of the telomere. We'll take that a step further. We'll show you. So here it is. Here's your chromosome. There's the telomere right there on the end of that, a little protective cap. So we'll look at those in purple in the diagram. So here's the cell. It's going to create a new cell, new daughter cell. And then you can see that a little bit of that gets lost, gets used. So again, when you're creating a copy of a copy of a copy of a copy of a copy, you have the potential to lose data. And basically, because we should be creating a brand new healthy baby cell. It's a brand new cell. Why isn't it young? Brand new cell, right? In theory. So there are error codes going on, aren't there? And you can see every time that that cell replicates, it has the potential to lose telomere. So you can think of that in terms of a clock. And so the telomere on the end of that, protecting the integrity of that DNA. Have you ever noticed somebody might age really, really well and somebody else looks really old at a much younger age? Well, there's potentially, it could be an issue with their telomeres and the way that the youth of their code that's being preserved as their body is replicating. But interestingly and excitingly, the body creates telomerase, which is an enzyme. And so you can see this is telomerase, this enzyme here, this is your DNA. And the telomerase enzyme goes in and it wraps around the DNA. And guess what it does? It protects the telomeres. And not only does it protect the telomere, it can actually help to extend that again. It can regrow some of that telomere. So this is really important. However, you don't want to go out and just get capsules. There are a lot of companies that sell telomerase capsules. The issue with that is with cells that are sick and cells that are damaged, like cancer. One of the big things that we see is that they do not lose telomeres. So we want a sick cancer cell to die by programmed cell death, which is called apoptosis. We want that to die. But for whatever reason, that telomere cap doesn't come off, doesn't degrade. The cell doesn't die, just keeps going, keeps going. So that's an issue. So you don't want to just take telomerase supplements, because that's not, you don't want to bombard your body with that. You want your body to manufacture it. You want your body to know what it's doing. So you want to remind the body how to do what it does best. And when we supply the body with the right information, the body is a master healer of the greatest kind. Your body can manufacture anything and everything when it has the right information. But there's more, because I always give you more. There's more. The body has access to powerful healing frequencies when it taps into the pineal gland. I've done some lectures on the pineal gland before, so I'm not going to go deep into this, but I'm just going to talk a little bit about the pineal gland because this is really important. We are talking about the body as an energy body, as an energetic, multidimensional being. So we need to understand the relevance of the pineal gland because we already spoke about the chakras, right? So sitting in the brain in a beautiful sea of fluid, in cerebral fluid, is the pineal gland. And it is connected to the third eye chakra. Now, the ancients and in a lot of Eastern and Asian philosophy and health and wisdom, they believe, and many people believe, that the third eye and its connection to the pineal gland is the gateway out into the outer dimensions, into the outer bodies, and the fastest way to gain access to all of your chakras and then again all of those outer bodies is to activate that pineal gland, to go in through the third eye, energize that third eye, pump in frequency, pump in energy, and get that pineal gland activated. Now we know that there are actually calcite crystals in the pineal gland. And in one of my other presentations, I've got actual photographs where you can see these crystals. So we can turn the pineal gland into a transducer if we send electricity, and there are a lot of people that do this through meditation, and they pump the energy through their body and they get that energy running through the neurons to hit that pineal gland. And the moment that you do that, you can actually activate it. And then, of course, once you activate that, and it can take years of meditation, or we could turn on a Healy, we could put on our wristbands, and we could send some energy and electricity through there, and we could activate that pineal gland, couldn't we? And turn that sucker into a transducer. And next, once we activate that, the pineal gland becomes a quantum sensor. Now, I say a lot of times to people, drop into resonance. Just drop into resonance. If you are not getting the results that you want, you have to become resident. So why not put on the pineal gland frequency, get that thing vibrating, open your third eye, broaden your awareness so you go in or you can go out. Either way, you're going to get there. I like to go into my pineal gland, pump through the frequencies, but I meditate every day, so I'm already working on that. And then what happens? This fine tunes information to and from the information field through the body. You've just created a quantum sensor in your brain. So we have a quantum sensor in our Healy, and you've dropped into resonance. So they are interfacing at a really extreme, very dynamic level. You're going to get some astounding information. So I also talk about the ECS, the endocannabinoid system, which we did in the other lecture. And amazingly, inside of the pineal gland is a full functioning, all parts of the ECS, a complete, fully intact ECS. So that's why I have this information down at the bottom. A quantum feedback loop is created within the mainframe of the ECS, potentiating the chemical and electrical signals for higher states of being. Because I also believe that the ECS is like a master translator. I think that it's the motherboard of my biocomputer. And I feel like it's the intermediate between the energy bodies and everything else, and it can help all of the frequencies that are coming in balance and speak the same language between all levels of my expression of my body. So how powerful is that? So when we tap into the information field, we have access to our higher potential, which is what we know, the quantum field. So that's pretty powerful stuff. Again, we want to make sure that we are looking at our body activating and our body doing what it does best. It knows how to heal. It's been masterfully designed. It is the greatest healing mechanism, and it can manufacture just about anything and everything. So we're talking about the bioenergetic revitalization subscription combined with solfeggio frequencies and bioenergetic stem cell support. So everything I just spoke about with the dynamics of the DNA, which lines up into, it turns into a quantum array as well. It has states where it becomes liquid crystal and it broadcasts. It's pretty extraordinary stuff. I won't go into that. We could do that sometime. But so looking at this subscription as a whole, basically what I just said, and then we're looking at solfeggio frequencies, and we're looking at bioenergetic stem cell support, and wrap all of that up, and we've got this subscription. I mean, the second I found out about this subscription, I had it. I thought, oh man, when do I get this? This is going into my Healy ASAP. This is some of the most powerful stuff I have seen in a long time. Love, 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 love it. So you might be saying, well, what are stem cells? I don't know if you know what stem cells are, but man, are they cool. They are absolutely extraordinary. They are undetermined. So what does that mean? Undetermined. That means they are a little blank slate. They have absolutely no instructions. They are just waiting. They have the potential to develop into many different kinds of cells. They're just waiting for their instructions. So they are different to any other cells in the body for three specific reasons. First of all, they're unspecialized, meaning they have no specific function in the body. That means they're undifferentiated, undetermined. They are like little children that are just want to run into the room with, you got them some building blocks or something. You have all this cool stuff sitting out in the living room, and you just tell them, okay, go build something. Well, what do I do? Okay, build me a house. And they build you things. They're like little God particles. They are the most amazing little cells ever. They have the capacity to become specialized cells. They can be things like brain cells, muscle cells, blood cells, skin cells, and they can divide and renew continually over long periods of time. Imagine if we had a frequency that could communicate with our stem cells. Imagine these little happy children, these little God particles that just want a job, just want to repair something, just want to build something, just want to fix something. If they just had the message to do it. Tracking with me? You getting this? So, again, stem cells are like these little God particles, little happy children that just want to make stuff. And they can become any of these things, any of them. They can become, here they are, a little cell can become a brain, can become the intestines, the liver, can become cardiac cells, anything, bone cells. They can, the moment they get their instruction, they can create. And that's the cool thing about stem cells. Stem cells are master creators. They're little God particles. And then we've got the solfeggio. So solfeggio frequencies, everybody probably knows what they are. They are really powerful frequencies that do certain things. So when you break them down, each one of these, if you look at the numerology, the 396 hertz actually breaks down to the number 9, and the solfeggio frequency of 396 supposedly is turning grief into joy. So that's the frequency. It urges that harmonic resonance into a more joyful state. 417 hertz breaks down to the number 3, facilitating positive change. The solfeggio frequency of 528 breaks down to the number 6, transformation, miracles, DNA repair. That's powerful stuff. 639 hertz. And we already know, right, that the resonant frequencies are responsible for the folding of molecules, the stuff that creates life. We can't debate this. It's fact. It's science. It's been worked out. They know this. It's not my opinion. It's not Healy's opinion. It's science opinion. Frequency of 639 hertz. It breaks down to the number 9. It's relationships and connecting with the spirit family, reestablishing that link, that divine link, that soul family that we're supposed to recognize and be aligning with at the moment. 741 hertz breaks down to the number 3. Cleansing, clearing, solving, resolving, clearing away that crap, the garbage. Who doesn't need that right now? I know I do. 852 hertz breaks down to the number 6. Returning to spiritual order, divine resonance. So if you haven't noticed, we keep coming back to this 369. So what's so important about 369? Why does that keep showing up? Well, if we look at these numbers again, they also relate to each of the different chakras. And we learned that each one of those chakras is a little energy vortex. It's very important because each one of them has a frequency, has a dimensional body that takes us into different areas of our overall soul essence, who we are as an entire being in our entirety. So these solfeggio frequencies even have a harmonic resonance with those things. So it's been said that the solfeggio frequencies align to the chakra system. This is the information here. This is this chart. I know we're recording this so people can have a look at that if they want. But again, what's so important about 369? Well, we know we didn't create math. We only located it. And it's embedded into the information field and holds many secrets and many potentials. It is the sacred information of frequencies. So this idea of 369, we have found that it is embedded in the tapestry of the field of the universe. It is part of the unified field, the information field, all that is. It is there. And all beings vibrate at specific speeds and have their own unique melody. So when you think about this in terms of our chakras have a frequency. We've learned our cells, every cell absorbs and emits light. It has a frequency. It's vibrating, which means it has sound. It's singing. There's a mathematical equation to that. Numbers are very important, aren't they? They are embedded in the frequencies. So is it possible that when we age, our melody can become out of tune? We already saw in our chromosomes, we have the DNA that spiraled in there. We have telomeres. And is it possible, because now we know that our frequency is affecting everything is affecting us on a physical level, is affecting our cells, is affecting our microbiome. Everything is talking in a frequency language. Everything is energy and everything is vibrating. And if you want to think of it very simply, in its most simple way, we are singing. Our hearts are singing out into the universe. Our chakras are singing. I used to love to get in the water with the dolphins because I knew they could hear my song. I knew they could hear me singing because they speak in a frequency and vibration language. So it's believed that the solfeggio frequencies reset the melody, reset our melody. If for some reason our own song, the song of all of our community of cells that's singing and vibrating, may reset the melody to the original tone of the spheres. So the perfect harmonic balance. The solfeggio frequencies are thought to restore a perfect resonant balance to body, mind, and spirit. And Einstein said, I just love him. I'm telling you, I wish I had his brain. Concerning matter, we've all been wrong. What we thought was matter is energy. It's energy. We know this. I keep going back to this. I keep going back to the energy, and the energy responds to frequency, and there's certain information embedded, isn't it? And so Einstein saw God and nature intertwined, the unified field, all that is. He really believed that nature and God were mirroring each other. There was something going on. And even though he was a scientist, he really was fascinated with the concept of God and metaphysics. He said he wished that he actually had gone into metaphysics before he died. And he wanted to know God's thoughts. He wanted to know if there was a cosmic blueprint or an algorithm that hold the answers. Did God write some kind of algorithm or cosmic blueprint? I mean, Einstein he searched, he was looking for something that would tie everything together. He was very convinced that metaphysically there was some pretty advanced stuff going on, but he wanted to try to quantify everything. And then we go to Tesla, and Tesla said, if you only knew the magnificence of 369, then you would have the key to the universe. Well, he wasn't wrong, I'll tell you. But you got to get into this state, right? You got to, it's not as easy. You got to go deep to get this. So numbers are alive and govern the universe. What I want you to think of 369 as the DNA of the universe. So we talked about our DNA, right? And when it hits the right oscillation, when it gets the right harmonic resonance, it'll open up and do incredible things. You can activate parts of your DNA that you had no idea what they could do for you. But we're on the 369 and we're on the universe. So think of the 369 as the DNA of the universe. Set them into motion and you have frequency. So they can help create reality. They can form symmetry. I don't know, are they trying to get our attention? Is there something that might want our attention? They have power. These numbers have power. They hold the secrets to create. And this, guys, is part of the bioenergetic revitalization. Everything that I've shared with you. Now, this is my interpretation because I've taken what Healy has presented, and I know they're locked up in a lot of the things that they can say because we definitely want to be compliant, but I'm using big science and I'm using big physics and quantum physics to show you that there is some information here and there is something magical and magnificent happening here. And our powerful, brilliant people that are giving us this beautiful product have been doing some awesome research, and they've wrapped up everything that I've said so far, I believe, in this subscription. And so everything keeps coming back to 369, and each of these holds a frequency. So only when you engage the third eye can you behold nature's algorithm and the power of 369. Now, remember, I said Einstein was looking. He thought, did God put an algorithm out there? Did he put it in nature? Well, in fact, if you look through nature, if you look, this echoes back to us. It's echoed and mirrored in everything. But sometimes, if you haven't been trained in this stuff, the best way to get it is to go within, to sit still, to activate that pineal gland, to send some current through there and turn it on and get it vibrating and get into that deep inner knowing where we can tap into this information. So we can powerfully affect different dimensional aspects of ourself by utilizing 369. So 3D, here we are, we're sitting in 3D, right? You got this three-dimensional experience that you're having. Three-dimensional physicality, we say this is 3D. But we also have sixth-dimensional reality. And many of us know we're working on this whole wake up and kind of get into this ascension concept of be the bigger part of who we are as energetic beings. We're not these little tiny protein machines that we were taught. We're not just this small little three-dimensional experience with limited vision and limited perspective. We are a much bigger, broader idea of an energy being. And then on to the ninth dimensional existence, but they're all intertwined. They're all us. And so the 369 is mirrored in all of this as a gateway to work through the third dimensional experience and to get us into the ninth dimensional existence, and yet transform with our bodies. 369, it is intertwined, it is interconnected, we are an enormous energetic being of unimaginable power and abilities. And we're meant to remember this and wake this up. And these numbers are telling us that we are the universe. We are a part of that. Set them into motion, and we have frequency. Use them, drop into your pineal gland and work with this. So that brings us back to this program, the bioenergetic revitalization. So what do we have here? We have regeneration, 1, 2, and 3. Well, what does that mean? Well, I would say that it probably means we want to start that regenerative process, right? We're going to have a lot of possible errors going on. We may have some healing we need to do. There's a lot of stuff because it's about energy and vitality. It's about revitalization. It's about strength and support and stamina and all of those things. So you would want to work through 1, 2, and 3, these levels, right? So then we have individual programs. Youth. Yes, please. I'll take a whole bunch of that, please. Send some youth over to me right now. Yes. So of course we're thinking of bioenergetic stem cell information, right? Absolutely. Why should we age when we know that our chromosomes have telomeres and have beautiful information in there that can repair and restore us? If we tap into that larger perspective of who we are. Spine. Is your spine strong and sturdy? Does it support you? Is it healthy? Is it holding you the way that you need when you get out of bed? Are you creaking and cracking, or would you like a little bit more regeneration going on there, vitalization going on in there? Tissue. How do your tissues repair? Do they repair well? Do they support if they get damaged, if you've cut yourself or something? How does that repair go? Do you need a little support there? Nerves. Well, I'll tell you something. This is for me big stuff. I'm a cancer survivor, and I was diagnosed with Epstein-Barr virus, chronic fatigue syndrome, many years ago. And sometimes if I'm not looking after myself properly, if I'm really stressed or I've had some kind of toxin, I've overdone it, just haven't had enough sleep, this thing can rear its ugly head and kick my butt. Let me tell you, it is not fun. And I have times where I feel like I've got a wound on my nerve, like something is just, the nerve feels like somebody came and whacked it. It is horrific. And I just thought I'd give this a go. I ran the frequency for the nerves. And I don't know if any of you have had nerve pain, you know that that's a horrible pain. That is not a nice pain. And it's almost nothing helps it. I ran this program, ran the nerve, immediately reduced the pain. And this is my own personal testimony. I'm not making claims. Healy's not making claims for this. This is my own personal experience. I didn't do a clinical study on this. This is completely anecdotal. But for me, when I used this on that pain subsided dramatically and was gone within 24 hours. And this is something would normally give me weeks of agony. Gone. So I love this program. I'm telling you, I love this. Again, Healy's not saying this. I'm saying this. I love this. I think there's something very profound about the frequencies and what is wrapped up in this package of goodness. Cell. We've got cell. Do your cells need a bit of help communicating, supporting you? And of course, look what we got here. Pineal gland. Surprise, surprise. These guys are brilliant. They know what they're doing. It's no accident they put that pineal gland in this group of frequencies, because you need that when you are activating the bioenergetic information of stem cell support, when you are activating the bioenergetic information of telomerase and telomeres and all of that. You need your own brain communicating to the entire community, that symbiotic organism of who you are as an energetic being. You want that pineal gland tapped into the instructions of the information field. You want to make sure that your body knows what instructions those guys need. Holistic support, absolutely. You want to look at yourself as a holistic being, the totality of all of these different things. Maybe you don't want to target anything. Maybe you just want the whole organism singing that beautiful song. And lastly, we have epigenetic harmonization. I don't know how many of you know about epigenetics. This is big. This is a big deal. We've now been proven by great scientists that we are not predisposed to our genes. Remember how we used to be told, oh, well, you're going to get this and you're going to get this and you're going to get this because it's in your genetics. I mean, you're doomed. You're predisposed to this. This is absolutely. But in fact, that's not the case at all. What we have found is that epigenetics is an environmental stimuli that can affect gene expression. So basically, this turns genes on or it turns genes off. So environmental stimuli affects genes. It switches off genes or it switches them on. If you're in a situation like this one, where, look at this poor little girl, they're fighting. Did you grow up in an environment like that? That affects the way that your genes express. Now, it also affects the health of the ECS. We now know that earlyhood childhood trauma damages the endocannabinoid system. So you're already out the gates with a damaged regulatory body system. There are very simple things we can do to repair a lot of this. Again, were you one of those people that surrounded yourself in a beautiful, loving home? Have you been around beautiful, loving people, families? Did you grow up like that? You'd have a very different experience. So our environment, do you live in a filthy, dirty city? Do you live in the country? You know, what is your environment? Your environment is constantly sending signals, sending a stimuli that affects your genes. And it can switch off good genes you want on, or it can switch on bad genes you want off. It depends. What are the signals? Your environment. Do you have healthy relationships? Do your relationships, are they supportive? Are you getting loving, friendly, supportive relationships? Or you get people where you walk away and you feel like you've been sucked dry? Pay attention. It can affect your genes. So that takes us back. The bioenergetic revitalization program. So I've gone through the whole thing with you. How cool is that? Do you understand now what this whole program offers you in terms of all of these different frequencies? We've gone through the whole thing. You understand it is bioenergetic stem cell support. All of these things, remember, Healy is not designed to diagnose, treat, cure any illness or disease. It's designed to support and balance the bioenergetic field. So again, we are energy, we are frequency, we are vibration. So why not target the fundamental core of who we are and send the right messengers? Because we've learned from the digital nutrition that a frequency messenger is much more efficient than a chemical messenger. So that is my presentation. When you understand all of this and you understand what these frequencies can offer you, you can explore the quantum potential, drop into that moment where you create your reality. You are the master creator and you are predisposed to nothing because you are sitting there in that information field, creating what you want, not getting what you don't want by default. So there you go. That